the 11th of December 2025. This will be a very short video. I've done a previous video there, you'll have seen it, on the Ukraine situation and the paying over of this money, 209 billion from the Belgium Euroclear Bank and 8 billion from British banks in London. And it really is frightening stuff, and it's frightening all the financial markets, and I've no doubt something very bad will come of it. But there's just two things in relation to that. One is, it won't keep Ukraine going for that long, maybe a year and a quarter. That's about it. And money will not buy victory in Ukraine. A British soldier died in Ukraine the other day. He was buried in England the other day there. And there's several French soldiers died there. So that's the thing. Even with it, it's going to be a dent to Russia, but it's not going to change things. And Russia has a way of getting back. Russia can do the same to deposits held in Russia, and it can take possession of Western property in Russia. You can imagine if Sean Quinn had to be still involved in Russia, the Permanaman entrepreneur, they could just take his property. So that's what's going to happen there. It will be tit for tat. Now, the other thing is that I drew a map of the Ukraine for you there a while back, and there's a lot of talk now that Putin is slowly wearing down the Ukrainian army, and he's going to go for Odessa. There was a film on Odessa, and it was based on reality, where the Nazis had a very big underground movement after the Second World War. And Ukraine is a very, very Nazi, anti-Russian, pro-Hitler type people, and its government certainly is that way. Now, not all Ukrainians are like that, and I know some of them myself, and they're all right, they're quiet people. Now, the thing about it is, if the Russians move in on Odessa, they'll not do it in this year, but very easily by the end of March 2026, they could have Odessa under control. And Odessa is a strip. It's the most southerly town in what remains of Ukraine, and there's a strip down from it, a strip down along, and that strip is kind of coming narrow, so it's a narrow little piece. So if they take Odessa city, they'll take the strip as well, and that will cut Ukraine off from the sea. That will leave it no longer a maritime nation. It will have to get permission to get crops and everything out, and that is very much on the cards. Now, if they do even look like they're going to be able to take Odessa, and they're going to take Odessa, that puts Europe and NATO in an unbelievable position. Because if Odessa is gone, Ukraine is essentially finished. It's unlikely that Putin would move to take over Western Ukraine or the town of Kiev. It's unlikely that he'd take it over. But whether he does or not, once Odessa is gone, if it's gone, it's a rump state. So pouring all this money in with all the ramifications of doing it when Odessa is gone would be even more futile. So it's the thing to watch for. Now, several military analyzers have said this is very much on the cards. I don't think it would have happened had there been peace negotiations or constructive peace negotiations. But Zelensky says he's not given an inch, and he wants all back with reparations, and good luck with that. And of course, Trump is more or less walking away. It's unachievable. Putin has the power behind him, he has the military behind him, and he has the weight behind him. Europe has nothing. They're a paper military. NATO has nothing. So even now, people are beginning to see that NATO is useless, and actually Finland is having second thoughts about what good it is having it. What good is NATO? If Finland was attacked by Russia, what would they do? I think the Russian army wouldn't be fit for Finland with NATO. There's a huge army in Poland. You could have a very, very severe shooting war if that happened. Now, comments were made here before, and I just forgot to mention it on the last video about migrants and all of that. Putin has made migration an issue. He's made it a weapon. He brought migrants up and he left them off on the Finland coast border. So he sees it as a weapon. It is not the case, as people have posted, that there's free migration into Russia. There's controlled migration. I never objected to migration into Ireland if it's controlled. There's controlled migration. You must pass all the tests. They must be sure of you before they let you in. If they're anyway dodgy at all, you get no rights at all. Russia has pulled out from the European Court of Human Rights last week. They finally confirmed that it has no effect. Funny that they were in it. They were in the convention. There were signatories to it. So it's gone now too. So that's a totally different thing. Russia, the tactics, is not what you call them. They're a sort of a Muslim people. But there's no big tension between the Russian Orthodox Church and Islam as such, moderate Islam. Of course, the minute any Islamic gets to be a threat or begins to wage war on Russia, he'll find himself falling out of a fifth-story window. You know that yourself. There's nothing tolerated like that. It's iron heel rule there. So that's the story. Don't forget, the Ukrainian government managed to kill a Russian general in, I think it was St. Petersburg there about a year ago. So they did put up a good fight, and some of the ordinary Ukrainians put up a good fight, but their battle was unjust from the start. The injustice was done in 2014, and everything flows from that. So I'll let you go. That's a short enough video. I just want to make that point. Odessa is on the cards. And as I say, if Odessa goes, there really is nothing for NATO to fight for after that. Be nothing. And it's a pity people die, because it's fulfilling my dream of the destruction of the European Union. Hopefully we'll see the day in the not too distant future where it will be abolished and gone. The European Union I'm speaking about will be back to nation states. Good luck. We'll see you back soon. Thank you.